Steph Curry, welcome back to the Daily Social Distancing Show.
I appreciate you having me, man. Always a good time talking to you.
Yeah, man, I would appreciate you telling me about your wardrobe choices before you come on the show. I don't like the fact that now we're both wearing the same hoodie. Like, one of us has to change, man.
I feel like, as we all know, the last 8 months, we only have a certain rotation of hoodies. So this color just happens to be every Monday. I should let you know that. The hair is the only thing that's going to differentiate us right now. So at least we
Yeah,
got.
man. I do my cornrows on the weekend. I'm a weekend cornrows guy, and then like afro during the week. So
Like that. I take most of my meetings on the weekends, and I'm back in the gym on weekdays. So I'm the exact opposite.
oh, so you flip it the other way around. Well, good to have you back, my dude. Good to have you back. We got a lot to talk about today. Before we get into the business, before we get into the big announcement that Steph Curry's making, before we get into all the major moves that you're making, we got to talk about that tweet, Steph. We got to talk about that tweet. This weekend, we saw some of the craziest boxing fights that like anyone has ever seen. Mike Tyson fighting against Roy Jones Jr. That was just like history. And then Nate Robinson fighting against Jake Paul from YouTube, also history. Now, Nate Robinson is a former teammate of yours.
Yes, he is.
And he tweeted out, he was like, I'm fighting for my family, I'm fighting for the NBA, I'm fighting for all of us. And you were like, yo, go get them, Nate. And then he said, I'm gonna shock the world. And then after his knockout, you responded to that tweet and you're like, yeah, I see no lies, man.
Yeah. So I know one thing about Nate is one, he can dish out the trash talk and he can take it. And I know based on, how the whole match went or the whole, event went, it wasn't supposed to be that entertaining, but it was. But for Nate, he is the most resilient dude in the world. So if there's one person that I know that's going to find like, that comeback type of situation, I don't know if he's going to be back in the ring, but whatever he's going to do, it's going to be amazing. I'm betting on Nate. So we can have as much fun on Twitter. And throw jabs, no pun intended, but we can always know Nate's gonna be in good shape.
Do you think like the NBA took this personally? Because I felt like it was like YouTube versus the NBA, and I was shocked that the NBA got knocked out by YouTube. I'm not gonna lie, Steph.
That's the best part of like just sports is there's always a narrative that kind of materializes. So definitely, this is why I tweeted at Nate right before. Like I was hyped. I was ready for him to go in there and do his thing. When you cross over sports, I think we all have this irrational confidence, and I love that about just athletes in general. I do the same thing in golf. I was over there embarrassing myself in front of Phil Mickelson for 4 hours on national TV. So I kind of know the that experience. But for him, we definitely took it serious or took it personal in terms of that YouTube versus NBA type of situation. We might have to go like tit for tat on top NBA fighters, if you will. We can throw our list out. Don't worry about that. So I'm not on there. Don't worry about that either.
You put yourself down, but Steph, you are really good at golf. I've met golfers who've been like, Steph Curry is legit when it comes to playing golf. You played a tournament for charity. It was yourself, it was Phil Mickelson, and you were up against Charles Barkley, who I know you didn't want to lose against. I know you didn't want to lose to him, but you lost. What would you think is a worse defeat? You losing to Charles Barkley or Nate Robinson getting knocked out by Jake Paul? Which one is worse?
Well, for me, it's got. I mean, I didn't get physically harmed, like we know that. But in terms of like pure embarrassment, if you will, like I know we were both, putting ourselves out there. Losing to Chuck in anything, as much trash as he's talked about me and our team and all that,
Right.
that made it. Oh, that hurt. So I'm gonna have to find him on a course somewhere after the season and redeem myself.
Let's talk a little bit about the season before we get into the new brand and what you got coming up. The NBA was the most successful franchise in launching a bubble format to play sports in a system where people weren't getting sick. They did the best they could, but the season has just been weird. We got another season coming up now. And on top of like Corona and everything that's going on, like everything at Golden State has just been, I mean, it's been a tumultuous time. You have been part of arguably the most dominant team over the past decade. Going to 5 finals, like coming away with 3 rings, I mean, there was a point, I remember when people started writing articles, Steph, where they were like, we need to change the scoring of a 3-pointer because these guys have like broken the game. That's how dominant you guys were. And now it's just been injuries. You got injured. Clay got injured. He's injured again. Durant got injured. What is the feeling in the team right now? And what do you think you guys need to do to get ready for the next season with how many challenges you now face?
It's weird because all the things you just said, like I got overwhelmed just hearing you talk about it, and now I'm like, we're about to start training camp, and this week, and gearing up for the 22nd to start our season. So there's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of anxiety around. I got my kids running around here. There's a lot of anxiety around, just getting back to playing competitive basketball because we've been out since March.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of new faces. We know watching the bubble that there's a lot of amazing teams out there that have taken strides as contenders, and you see what LA has done as champions. So we know the work is cut out for us, but our culture remains the same. Me and Draymond as the elder statesman, we'll call it. We've been around, and we know what it takes to win championships. So we're excited for the challenge, and like all the noise around us in terms of the different cast of characters and the new guys, like we're going to take that and run with it, and do what we're going to do this year. So it's going to be exciting, man. I just want to play competitive basketball again. It's been too long sitting on the sidelines, and I'm excited about that.
One of the biggest reasons you're here today, man. We're going to talk about the Curry brand. This is a major moment for you and a major moment for any athlete where a major brand, like you've worked with Under Armour for a long time. But we all know in sports and in any apparel line, it is huge when a brand says, you know what, your name is so big and so powerful that your name is going to sort of stand alone within this brand. We saw it with Jordan. Steph Curry has now gone to the next level. Talk us through the Curry brand, because what I really like about this is it's not just about you having your own line. You have an interesting idea of what you want the Curry brand to stand for.
No doubt. I mean, you hit on a lot of points, and it's surreal to know that this is actually happening, and it's been conversation and strategizing over 2 years now with my team and with Under Armour, in terms of, like you said, I've been with them since 2013. We've done amazing things in the signature business and built a substantial business that has had a lot of ups and downs, but it's been an amazing learning process, and we've grown a lot. And so taking the foundation of what that is and the relationship that we've had, and being able to launch Curry brand, where you have an opportunity to have purpose and a part of the mission, a part of the bottom line of what we do, and everything that you participate in with the brand, product, apparel, whatever it is, all the different campaigns that we're going to run. There's a message and a meaning behind it, and that is to ensure that our next generation has equal and equitable access to sports across the country. We're starting here in my home, my backyard in the Bay Area, but there's some crazy numbers about participation in youth sports, how it's declining year after year, and obviously the impact that COVID has had.
Right.
We know our role, and we're going to play our role to the best of our ability, and use, again, the platform that I have, the story that I've been able to be a part of, and even looking ahead into the future, that when it comes to doing amazing things and putting out dope stories and dope product, that you're changing people's lives over the course of this journey. And that's something for us that is exciting, and hopefully can be something unique that you haven't seen before.
Well, I think there are a lot of parts of it that are unique. It's not just the partnership, but it's what you're trying to do. One of my favorite parts of the partnership is how you guys are going to be setting out to create safe places where kids can play sports. And a lot of people take that for granted. Like, if you grew up and you think back and you go like, man, how many times did you get up to some shit as a kid because you couldn't play sports? And you just, like my grandmother used to say, idle hands are the devil's playground. And sports has been shown time again. It teaches you responsibility. It just gets your mind going. It's great for mental health. It gets the kids out of the streets. It is a wonderful way to build camaraderie and just self-esteem. So you're going to be doing that. You're going to be working. How are you going to be picking the cities, and where do you hope to see the program expanding?
No doubt. And the biggest part is we're not reinventing the wheel with this. We're just being able to draw attention, awareness, resources, and support to not only certain communities that need, to your point, safe spaces to play, but coaches and leaders in these communities, being able to train them in the ways to reach the next generation, and be able to create that connection. But also programming. We know, to your point, when you talk about what sports teaches us and just being able to participate, not every kid's going to be a pro athlete in whatever sport they decide. But, sports gives you that perseverance, that discipline, that determination that you carry into whatever your, career path you choose and whatever opportunity is in front of you. So The one thing that I looked at in my journey is I never had to worry about, I want to go play basketball. Oh, where do I go?
Right.
Where is there a place that I can go hoop and work on my game in that kind of scenario? Not a lot of kids don't have an answer to that question, and we want to be that answer. And when you talk about where we decide to go, that's listening to the community. That's how we started here at Manzanita Park, right in downtown Oakland. The community had been petitioning and campaigning, trying to get that community center refurbished for years and years, and we heard their call and got it done. So that's going to be the gas in the tank as we launch this brand and live out our purpose and mission. We got to talk about it now so people know what we're talking about, but you'll be able to execute that out and live it out with everything that we do. That's the challenge.
Well, you're doing it, man. It's a challenge, but you're doing it every single day. Feeding over 1 million kids in Oakland, getting back to the court in one of the most challenging seasons the NBA is going to see. And of course, having your voice heard in politics. Steph Curry, thank you so much for taking the time, my dude.
No doubt. Next time I see you, just send me the color sweatshirt and we'll match it up.
I'll let you know ahead of time, man. And you tell me who does your rows. I got to get some of those.
I got you.
All right, my dude.